as of now, and I can assure you he's on top of issues. The government of the NDC is on top of issues. So for the issue of a presidential race, it's neither here nor there. It's not on the banner. The party has not taken any decision on it yet. FEC has not discussed anything of that nature. Not talk of the deck. So it's just people who are thinking aloud for the party. So we'll leave it as it is. But let's look at our opponents very clearly, because they have opened ears, and then they are trying to rewrite the political history of this country. I mean, with this method, they are putting out.
What do you mean by they are trying to rewrite the political history?
Oh, clearly. I mean, this top-down approach, we've never seen it since 1992. We've not had that type of structure. The Lța group, you see, they are not doing the party any good.
Lța group?
Yes. They sat in Lța. It was Lța Hotel they sat and took that decision. They are going to elect their presidential candidate before reorganizing the party. Who does that? You have gone to an election, you've lost terribly. You've lost, it has never happened. In fact, it's reminiscent of 1992 elections. After they lost the presidential, they ran away from the parliamentary. This is the first political party that boycotted a whole parliamentary election in 1992. You know, at that time, we did 2 elections. The first one was a presidential. After that, we now moved to the parliamentary. So when they were decimated at the presidential level, they ran away from the parliamentary. Now, to reorganize your party, you need to, because the tenure of these officers, the Lța group, is almost getting out.
Lța group?
Oh, I said they went and sat in Lța Hotel and took that decision. I always describe them as Lța group. Because when they did that thing, they were all loyalists of one of the candidates. They were all loyalists. It's just like you have hawks sitting as judges, and then you bring a chicken before them to take a decision on the chicken. What kind of decision is that going to take? So they sat there and took this decision that, look, we are going to elect a presidential candidate before we ever think of reorganizing the party. Because the leadership that gave them this terrible resource still want to hold on to the power that they are holding. And they know that if they manage to put up the sole candidate that they are looking for, then they can also metamorphose themselves back to the offices that they are holding through the instrumentality of the candidate they are doing. That's what the Lța group did. And you know,
it's not because the NDC is afraid that if they bring Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia, it could cause a defeat to the NDC in 2028?
Roland, it's a settled and tried reason that they want to bring Dr. Mahmoudou Bawumia. They are bringing him. We are aware of it. That one there, nothing will change. That is what the Lța group when they did. Package it. You think it's by mistake Wontumi and Aburunya is saying this? They were part of that decision. They sat at Lța Hotel and took that decision. Everything they were doing, our ears, they were monitoring every discussion they had in that meeting. And I can tell you that it was well packaged. These other candidates that you are talking of, they are preparing for 2032 elections.
Which other candidates?
Oh, Kennedy Japan,
Brian Champong
and all that. I'm telling you, they are not interested in the 20.
They know Japan?
All of them, I'm telling you, market. Because they know this election that they are going. You see, when they fold their arms and say they are not contesting, okay, you see, in politics, you need to always be in the picture so that the people know that you also have some interest. Do you get that? If you fold your arm now and said, I'm not going to contest because they have already taken the decision, then your next election, you will find it difficult. The people will think that you are not a serious person. So some of them, they are just doing this so that they will be in the mind of the would-be delegates that in the next ensuing thing, after Bawumia will lose terribly in 2028 election, then you consider it because they won't bring him back again. You think they are going to bring him after he loses the 2028 again? So they have to prepare themselves. It's a long journey.
I don't understand.
Oh, why don't you understand? It's a long journey. You remember something happened. Rollins told us something at Takoradi. In fact,
it has to be Cape Coast.
No, Cape Coast. It was Cape Coast when we went for our Congress. And he said something about NPP. That party, they always change their names, but they don't change their behavior. They change their names. The name, they continue to change the name. But the behavior, they won't change it. And I'm not surprised my learned counsel here said it. They always use the word, the party is supreme. not the country. That's why Ghanaians made sure that since 1972, they refused to give them political power until 2000. When new generation came, they didn't understand them very well and gave them that power. That led us to all this problem we're having in this country. Ghanaians, but if you look at our oldies and all this, they don't want them at all. They are not the people who should be allowed to.
The voters make those decisions.
I'm saying that the new generation that came in, who were born around 80s and early 90s, became voters in 2000. They didn't understand these people very well. They decided to give them power. And when they came in, this money crisis started by President Kufuor. We didn't know that even to put a poster and another thing, you need to collect money for a politician. But people chasing politicians for money started from these people. And the Rollins regime and then the third Republican, we didn't have all these kind of things happening. So I am saying that this group of people, they have already settled on one candidate. And they will continue to be bringing it out. But I'm saying that serious minds in the party are worried that you needed to reorganize the party. Put the party in a sound footing before you think of putting a presidential candidate on it. But you are putting a presidential candidate on a weak party.
No, I don't understand. You're saying they should be electing their
officers. They needed to reorganize their branches, go to the constituency, have an organization, reorganize because some of the executives, they need to push them out if they really want to have a serious party. And their national executive, I think they will continue to wipe all of them out if they need to have a serious party. Okay, this is how they will restructure, reorganize the party. Then when the party is properly energized, then you can think of putting a presidential candidate who can lead them out. Now you are putting a presidential candidate on a party which is giving you 38%. The party that you are putting a presidential candidate on has gave you a 38% in the last election. And you still want to do that kind of thing. That is why I'm saying that my worries, and we as a political party, the NDC, our worry is this. We don't want to go for a one-party system in this country. That is what we don't want. And it appears we are moving towards that direction.
It will only be incumbent on you having governed the country well.
I am saying
and
that
the voters in 2028 making that decision. You don't make that decision.
I am saying that considering the performance of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the NDC government, Ghanaians are, look at what is going on. Everything is going on perfectly. Prices of goods has come down. People's life has increased. Life expectancy, I'm telling you, by the close of the year, you see that it will increase. Because people are no more dying because of worries.
Oh, please.
Trauma, it's a fact.
We have the Human Development Index that is used in measuring that.
Yes, they will do that. I am giving you that.
Plays a key role.
I am telling you that.
Rashid Tanko.
I can tell you for a fact. Last year, a lot of people died because of trauma. Didn't you hear that a business mogul who died? He came out and held a press conference, how his monies were locked up, his business were crumbling because of haircut they were giving them. And the man finally died. Was it not because of the trauma the NPP gave him? This year, have you heard anybody who has come out to hold a press conference, my business is crumbling and things are not going well and my funds are locked up and therefore I'm having trauma to die? And I'm saying that Learned Council made a good analysis of their behavior. And they have already, look, Aborinya and then Chairman to me, they are saying the same thing that the Alisa group sat and did. They are only the mouthpiece. They are part of them. They were part of that meeting. They sat through in that meeting. Alisa group. They are the people. And they've taken this, so nothing will happen to him. That distancing, they say we are distancing ourselves.
Please put the NDC list from Musa Dankwa, the Global Info Analyst, because he seemed to have been dodging the question. The list. The Haruna, Eric Opoku, and the list. Let me ask him a question. That list, you seem to be running away. Right? Is there? You say you just returned from Bimbila, right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there a certain public opinion or party opinion that you've seen it? Is there?
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
And you are saying that formally the party has no open nominations.
Yes, we haven't.
Okay, Haruna Idris is still the minister doing his ministerial work. He hasn't gone around doing anything. But we have the chairman on a thank you tour. Ato Fosen is also doing his work. He'll be going to the IMF meetings very soon after the UN, etc. That'll be in October. And then we also have Julius Debra also doing his work. Sometimes he engages in other activities as well. I've seen him keep fit and some other things, community engagements. All of them are doing their work. But for their names to be coming up in polls in which people within the NDC who are part of the sample size chosen by Global Info Analytics, indicating that they have preferences, at least for these first 5, 6. Usually, as executives of the party, how do you take it? How do you react to such things? What do you think need to be done so that they don't put the cart before the horse? Because they have responsibilities for which they have been appointed into office to perform.
Very well, like I indicated initially, these are sampling. My good friend has done sampling. Okay, he's thinking aloud for people. I know officially none of them has declared their intention to contest anything because the writ of contest has not been given to us as a director of elections. Don't forget, I'm still a deputy director of elections and I for the party. So before I can do anything, I must have a writ of office from the National Executive Committee led by FEC, okay, to go ahead and prosecute this agenda of electing a presidential candidate. And I told you in my opening statement, none of that thing has happened. They haven't given us a writ as an election directorate to commence processes for the election of a presidential candidate. So that is somebody work. He's doing a sampling. I'm sure there might be other names which might come out openly. Don't be surprised. Maybe tomorrow somebody also comes out and said, I want to contest. Maybe they will add the person in there. So for now, let's look at it as just sampling. And it is not the decision of the party that we have opened up the processes for anybody to come in and contest. What I do know is that, yes, the national chairman, I mean, he led a campaign team during the 2024 election. We had several prongs of campaign. The president led a team, a group. He was then our candidate. The national chairman also led a group. I do know that the general secretary also led a group, and they were also moving. And so if he had visited some areas and he felt that he wants to go and thank them once again, I don't see anything wrong with that. The chief of staff is interested in exercises. Don't forget, before 2016, I remember 2016, he started something, Clean Up Ghana. Every Friday, the end of the month, there was this cleanup exercise that was being carried out under his when he was then the local government minister. And then so he's the type who likes exercising. He likes a lot of work.
Julius Debra.
Those days, I remember him very well. They were doing this.
So what he's doing is just part of
that is what I'm saying.
Normal routine.
It's a normal thing which is part of him. And so you cannot begrudge him or that of the national chairman who did a fantastic job during the 2024 election, went around and did campaign in some areas. And when he's now going back to thank them, Julius is continuous his exercise and other thing. The other people are also doing their professional work, their administrative work, and all that. I, for now, don't see it to be a problem at all. The party is solid. We are solidly behind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama to deliver. He's delivering it. The people are satisfied with our governance. We are going to make sure that we hold on to what we are doing. The reset agenda, we will continue it until 2028, so that Ghanaians will see that this party should be retained. Because what they are doing is what we are looking. International community have confidence in the president and the government of the NDC. The good people of the country are also happy that the kind of goodies we are giving them. In fact, I have been saying it. We have opened up the Flagbearers house. People can now go there, even in the night, to do demonstration around their place. Nobody will say anything wrong with them, because this is a good governance. These are the things we are going to deliver.
You're even making Dr. Tutubo even laughing. But what do you make of the permutations that are coming up? From the NDC side, individual names are popping up, etc. But we know the established names already because they have opened the floodgate, so to speak. Nominations have been accepted, people have been vetted, and so generally we expect that a presidential candidate will be elected for the NPP. What does it say? The speculations on the part of the NDC, those individuals, and then the individuals we know who will be contesting for the NPP, and then how that reflects on the governance.
So, good morning to our viewers, and good morning to my co-panelist and your good self once again. Let me be quick about this. UTAG is having our conference today, starting today. And we are telling Ghanaians that we remain resolute on our position concerning Galamsey. And so Ghanaians should have confidence that
the University Teachers of Ghana?
Yes.
Association of
Ghana, yes.
Okay.
And that we are still in talks with the government, to make sure that, government does not renege on its efforts, to fight galamsey. Roland, let me get to your question. And I think that Dr. Computer, as the director for elections, Deputy Director for Elections, I think that he has so much work to do, and I feel that going forward, you see, politics has so many legs, and one of the legs that can actually break you down is issues of complacency. And again, when you tend to not to actually look at polls that are coming out and the trends that are following.
Why do you say so?
Yeah, I say so because listening to him, I feel that he should be taking certain cues from what Musa Dankwa has presented, rather than probably indicating that the party has not, as it were, opened its gates, for elections. I think that there's a popular saying that the voice of the people is the voice of God. And so I am assuming that this polls that Musa has brought out, though we can describe it as speculation. I think that probably he didn't just go, to randomly select names, but I feel that he had heard conversations going around, and based on these conversations, he decided, to sample these names and test the views of Ghanaians and probably party members, on these names, to see how, the perception or the voting intentions of voters or party delegates, as it were, would be. And that is what he has done. And I think that Musa, for the NDC, all right, and that is what Musa has done. And that is why I want the Deputy Elections Director for the NDC, to take note of. You see, I would advise that he probably may want to sit down with Musa Dankwa, to probably discuss, some of these matters very well. Because, again, 2028 will be a crossroad, for the NDC, whether they like it or not.
I don't understand.
A crossroad in the sense that the sitting president will not run again, right? Unless maybe it is proven otherwise. But per the Constitution, he's not running again. And I think that he has, by himself, indicated that he's not going to run. And so it will be good for the NDC to start scouting, for a replacement. And like Lawyer Pierre Dankwa was talking about, you see, one thing that I feel that our democracy and the political parties, the two major political parties, should start looking at is that the voter behavior in Ghana is changing. And the voter has become so much oriented to the point that, they don't just go to the ballot to vote, but now they go there with a sense of entitlement, sense of responsibility, sense of nationalism and patriotism. And so they wouldn't want to vote for any candidates at all, as they would in 92, 96, 2000 and co, where, one of the criteria for voting for a particular candidate was your appearance. You understand? Those days, they will tell you that Rawlings was a handsome man. He's Obroni, and he speaks very good English.
Who are you referring to?
Jerry John Rawlings. Okay. You understand? And
are you saying they voted for Kufuor because he's also good looking?
They gave him the gentle giant slogan. Or you forgotten?
I have not.
Yes. So gentle giant, that brand that was placed on Kufuor, explains that he was thick and tall. All right. Some people were even talking about his sexy eyes and all that. You see, and so appearance. At a point in time, people were talking about John Mahama also as a handsome personality, somebody who speaks very well and all that. But you see, 2016, 2020, 2024 is painting a different picture altogether. And so now Ghanaians actually look at what is in for them rather than looking at appearance. Now, what is in for them? One, economical issues. A candidate who can manage this economy very well and to ensure that, look, my needs are met economically. So when candidates are asking for capabilities of a candidate, they are actually talking about the fact that you can manage this economy very well and to ensure that, look, as a lecturer, I become a better person, all right? And as a broadcaster, Roland becomes a better person, and we are all giving our due. Economic development and all that comes in, And beyond that, issues concerning candidate personality traits, very important. Your leadership abilities, very important. And more importantly, your sense of responsibility and patriotism to this country. These are questions that people are asking for. So I believe strongly that in selecting candidates for both NPP and NDC, for me it is not a matter of whether the person has been an NDC person or an NPP person for a number of years, or whether the person is this or with that. Or no. I think that is where we have gotten to, and these are the changes that we require from our two major political